Good afternoon, good early afternoon, good people. It's yours truly, Sean Taylor, the host. This is the show. We are in the no judgment zone, discussing topics with no judgment, discussing topics no judgments. But like I always say, just let you guys know, this is a show with no judgments. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's simply just discussions coming straight off the dome, baby. That's pretty much it. That is it in a nutshell. I got my boy, Brandon Lampley. What's up, young blood? What's going on, baby?
What's going on, man? Another day, man. It was a pretty good football weekend, even though the Jags got destroyed, like I knew they would. But so I wasn't disappointed because I already knew what would happen when they went out to LA and Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. Thankfully didn't beat our quarterback head in, so we all good. But that college football, especially that Auburn, Alabama. Alabama, Georgia. Man, I thought I was gonna get a better game than that. Bryce Young was like, "Oh, this is number one defense. Okay, pew, down the field." Yeah.
Hey, man, but hey, you going up against Nick Saban is like going up against Bill Belichick. You know, people don't understand that them boys came up in the ranks together. But Nick Saban is younger than Bill Belichick, but he still got a Bill Belichick mind. So
yes,
they be swapping ideas and game plan schemes and all different types of things. You know, Nick Saban, Bill will reach out in the draft like, "What you think about this dude before the draft? This dude, Nick Saban to give him the 411 on this guy." So man, those guys go back, but man, you gotta wake up early in the morning to beat Nick Saban, man. He always pulls a rabbit out of his hat.
Yes.
And he did, man. He did. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna get into the subject. The subject is if you do the same thing, you're gonna get if you constantly keep doing the same thing, you're gonna constantly keep getting the same bullshit shit, pretty much. So in the words of Albert Einstein, and I love the quote, if you do what you've always done, you're going to constantly get what you have always gotten. It kind of rolls off like, you know, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Kind of like it's insanity
it's all
type
along
deal.
The same, yeah.
Okay, it's all relative, you know. So, but bottom line is this, you know. Let's say in the your fitness journey. Let's say fitness journey.
Yeah.
If you have the same mundane, same complacent, same, I'm just gonna do just enough to get by. There's no intensity. There's no sense of urgency. There's no preparation.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get the same results that you have always gotten. You're going to quit. You're going to give up. Then 2 years later, you're going to be trying to figure out, okay, man, I done gained 50, 60 pounds. I got to get this weight off of me. It's up to the individual to stop the vicious cycle. So you can put that analogy, your body, relationships, you know, things of that nature. We all are guilty of. She got to look like, hey, you know what? Let me just talk about me. She had to be perfect, nails done, hair done. Hair had to be a certain length. I ain't do the weave thing. I mean, it was all these type of things that, you know, a certain type of woman I was looking for. I ain't care nothing about the brain. All I cared about was the outside appearance. When you have that type of mentality as a guy, you're going to get the same result. So people, if you do what you've always have done in the past, you are going to keep getting what you have always gotten. Sometimes a light bulb has to, you know, come on, and we have to figure out, man, maybe I need to start moving differently. Maybe I need to take a different approach. Maybe I need to go from being closed-minded to be more open-minded. Maybe I need to stop being so freaking judgmental. It's your patterns in life that you're accustomed to doing the same thing month in, month out, week in, week out, day in, day out. and you're not having any growth. People look at their lives and they start feeling sorry for themselves, Brandon. But B, if I'm doing the same exact thing, how is that outcome gonna be different? I mean, how is that even remotely possible? B, what's your take
Yeah.
on this, man?
I mean, that, like they say, that's the definition of insanity. I don't know why you think you would get something different when you're constantly doing the same thing. Let's just take relationships, for example. Your type keeps you in a never-ending loop. Like whatever you like, or whatever it is, however they look, or whatever you really like, you're constantly chasing whatever that is, and most likely you're going to get the same results over and over and over again. I mean, with guys, shoot, we're chasing you chasing the feeling, you chasing kills. So for 22 to 30 seconds of pleasure, and that's usually how long it is, you're doing the same thing over and over again, and you're getting the same result. And not only are you getting the same result, the consequences for just that little amount of time, what comes after that, after you continuously bump your head, like you just racking up whether it's children, whether it's trauma, just fighting, bad experiences, baby mamas. I mean, you name it. For those 30 to 22 seconds of pleasure, and that you just gotta have, you just gotta have it, and you can't protect yourself. You're constantly going into the same loop over and over again. I have someone who's close to me who's doing that exact same thing right now, and I'm watching it, and it's amazing. He's young, but it's amazing to watch in real time.
Right. And you can see, especially when you're on the outside looking in, you can see like, God dang, this dude is doing the same pattern, is getting the same results. It's almost like, man, you don't see. And sometimes, man, when we're doing the same patterns and we're getting the same results, then what happens is we never take a time to sit back and start self-examining ourselves and gut checking ourselves. Like, you know what? Maybe I need to switch up my moves. Maybe I need to go from playing checkers and start playing chess. I need to do something different so I can get a different result. Maybe I need to quit. Oh, I want the guy to be 8 feet tall, and he got to be driving this. He's got to be living in that. What I don't understand when it comes to the superficial, materialistic, what in the hell does that got to do with the individual?
Yeah.
What does that got to do with how that person's going to treat you? What does that got to do with their dignity? What does that got to do with their morals, their character? What does possession has to do with the man or woman within? It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So my mom used to say this, and I used to think it was funny. And then I heard Dave Chappelle say something which was later on in years in life, which was funny. My mom said this. She said, little girls like shiny things. When I think about that, I think about my 5-year-old daughter. They like shiny stuff.
Yeah.
So when my mom used to tell me this in my 20s, I used to laugh because it sounded funny, because I'm thinking about a grown woman with a little girl's mentality. Shiny things is going to get her attention. So the flashy dude is going to get her attention because she's looking at the things that are flashy. But those things that are flashy has nothing to do with how that dude's going to treat you, how he's going to talk to you, how he's going to, if he's going to be a leader. Are you going to have to do everything? Are you going to have to pretty much raise him and teach him how to grow up to lead? I mean, all of these things, people, they look for the wrong things and they keep getting the same results because they haven't switched up their thought process. So you got to, how things start changing in your life is you have to go from being a woman of immature thinking and an immature mindset to a grown ass woman that thinks maturely. She thinks beyond what that flashy surface may show. And that's when things start to evolve. That's when things start to change. That's when conversations start to change. So, it is true. If you want to know the mindset of a person, see what they're impressed by. It tells you everything.
Mm-hmm.
What a person impressed by tells you their maturity level of thinking by what they're impressed by.
Yeah.
So that's something, you know, a lot of people don't even think about too as well. What you think, B?
Well, they say the both of the sexes objectify each other. You know, men get the flack the most because they say we all you see is women as sexual objects, but all they see us is as success objects. Like they'll I
Mm,
always hear you should be as concerned with her past as she is concerned with your future. You know,
mm,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
and just the whole the shiny thing syndrome and what they go through. That's pretty much that's young girls today, and then young boys. The shiny thing is how she looks. That's how it is. That's how we both. Social media, especially dating apps, has pretty much turned us into this, where we're judging people based off surface level things. That's just what it is. The dating game is rigged today. It's not. It's not meant for the average person, man or woman. Now, average women get way more play than average men, but it's not set up for either one of them really to win. You know, so the
Wow.
only way you win, and by not getting stuck in those loops and doing the same thing over and over and over again, is pretty much, especially as a guy, is don't play. Don't play the game. Don't play the game. If you don't have enough leverage on the market, get off the market, go improve yourself, come back and with more leverage, more power, and and dealing with women from a position of power, they say. So yeah, I
Mm,
agree with what you're saying. Totally.
that is awesome, man. Also, another thing, when I think about the Albert Einstein quote, um, you as long as you do what you've always done, you're going to continue to get what you've always gotten. Um, I always think of um, choices that I've made in the past, like rushed and made a choice, like rushed and moved in together, and rushed and went and got married, or rushed and got into a serious relationship without thinking about the quality of relationship partnership that I actually want to have. So now the moves have to be thought out. I have to observe a little bit more. I have to recognize the red flags. You have to have more intellectual conversations. And when people don't communicate, or people have a problem with just sitting down, just having conversation with you, just I'm talking about just a conversation about nothing. I mean, y'all could just be
Yeah.
just chilling and y'all just talking about things, but the conversation, it's an interesting, intriguing, tantalizing type of conversation where you can actually see, okay, how refreshing it is to talk to a person past a couple of sentences. That you can actually sit and actually have a good, I mean, just good swapping of words with a great conversationalist. I mean,
Yeah.
these things, it just shows you just the mental thinking and of where a person's mind actually sits at, whether they're an open-minded person or closed-minded person, whether they have a problem with apologizing. And some people, they settle for these things, and I've heard people say, and I agree, that sometimes people have to grow into certain things. But how long you got to wait before you? So you pretty much got to raise a woman how to be a woman, and raise a man how to be a man. Not saying they got to be the full package, but basic conversation. You know,
Yeah.
just where do we get? Where do we get past the bedroom? You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? Um, I mean, what are our interests? Is there any? Are we really, at the end of the day, are we really compatible? Do we really have some common interests? And compatibility is one of those important things that you don't have to be compatible in everything, but damn, you got to be compatible in some things,
Yeah.
because if there's no compatibility, then when it comes down to you guys actually spending time together, you're he's doing this and you're doing that all the time. So here we go. Now distance becomes in between because you have no compatibility there. So he's doing his thing, you're doing your thing. How is that going to draw you closer? You know, I mean, most people, they jump into things and they don't even become friends with the person. Like they love the person, but they don't like them. And when I heard my mother tell me that, she's like, Sean, there's a difference between liking somebody and loving somebody. You can love somebody. My mom said, you think you can? And I was like, no, how's that even possible? She was like, it's possible. She said, do you think it's possible that you can love somebody and not like them? I was like, don't like intertwine into. She's like, no.
No.
She say like and love are two separate entities.
Yes, they
are. There are people in dry ass, boring ass, jive ass, lifeless ass, dead completely marriages, for instance, and they don't even genuinely like each other.
Yeah.
But how she broke that down, she's like, let me tell you something. How do you have a best friend that you're married to or that you're with? You generally like them. You generally enjoy being in their presence. Being in their presence make you feel better. That means you generally like them. Yes, you're in love with them and you love them, but you generally like that person. There are millions of people that are together who love each other but don't like each other.
Yeah.
So let's piggyback off that, B.
Okay, you got a few comments, and then I'm gonna go.
What's up, Big Ness? What's up, baby? How you feeling, bro?
What up, Ness? What up, Lisa Reed? What up, Corinza?
What's up, Lisa?
You say Lisa say many relationships wouldn't survive if you took sex off the table. Oh, I was talking to a young lady about that. I said sex is the glue that hold relationships together. I don't care what you built. I don't care what you have. If that's gone, then the relationship is gone. I say because men need sex. Men, we don't want it. We need it. It's a biological need. It's biological need. You see, I tell all my single friends 10 dates before you jump in bed. LOL, it's important to get to know the man. 10 dates? I don't know if I'm waiting on 10 dates. It depends. How old is this woman that I'm waiting on? Yeah, the older she is, less time I'm waiting. Sorry. That's just what it is. I mean, you 40 and you talking about you got to get 10 dates. Man, come on now. I'm not waiting 10 days for that. But piggyback off what you were saying. Patrice ONeill, who man, rest in peace to Patrice ONeill, one of the godfathers, man. He talks about.
Wait. When did Patrice ONeill pass away?
Patrice been gone for a minute, man. Patrice had to be gone in early 2010s.
What?
Yeah, man. Patrice been gone, man. Patrice been gone for a long time.
What did he pass? What did he pass? I mean,
I know he had diabetes. I think he died from complications of his diabetes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because he tell a joke about how he discovered he had diabetes, and I won't tell it on these airwaves because it's graphic.
Okay. My bad. Well, we got to have a one-off about that because, man, you got to bring me up to speed, bro. I'm 10 years out of the loop. Actually 11, So.
Yeah, Lisa Reed. I feel you, Lisa Reed. I don't need 10 dates. I gotta know we compatible. See, that's what I'm talking about. Lisa Reed ain't with the 10 date. Nah, because after about the third date, I'm like, I'm getting a little antsy. Like, so what's up? But Patrice ONeill talks about this, man. He said, a man, like and love, two different things, man. This is the face of a man in love. This is the face of a man in like. Oh yeah, man, I really like her, man. I like this chick right here. You say the perfect relationship is when the woman loves the man and the man likes the woman. He say that is perfection right there. And it's so true. Like and love, two separate things, because I can love you like you love, but women that I like, it's a different feeling. Like I really, really like this person. But love is almost like obligation. It's almost like duty. You know what I'm saying? It's not that feeling of I won't say necessarily newness, but it's not that feeling of man, like, man, I'm really smitten. I really, really like this person. I get the smile every time they call or whatever, stuff like that. Once that's gone for a guy, it's kind of like, you kind of like on autopilot.
Yeah, he's just checked out, man. And it's funny that you say that, man, because when a man genuinely likes a woman, he can't wait to see her. He is rushing to get home. He wants to. He can't wait to be out when he gets off work, having a date with her, or just being around her, even if they doing nothing, he just genuinely loves her likes her as a human being. And when you just love somebody, man, it's just like you said, Brandon. It's like when you like somebody, it intertwines within the love. It just hits differently.
Yeah.
It just really hits differently. And I think that we're so busy as males and females looking for one thing, but we're forgetting we're forgetting the whole just the whole spectrum of it all. So how do I want to have I don't like the word relationships because I don't like I think for me, I've graduated from relationships because a relationship and a partnership is different, just like and love is different. Relationships, there's no fight in relationships. Yeah. Meaning no fight, meaning people in relationships give up way too quickly. A partnership, we in it for the long haul. I'm going to be in that foxhole with you. I'm going to be in the trenches with you.
Relationships are similar to situationships.
Exactly.
It's in the same vein. Yeah. Uncertainty. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You never know which way it's going to go. So when I hear people talking about things that are going wrong in a marriage or relationships, I automatically know one of those people just love the person. One of those people like the other. There's a disconnect when it comes to the like and love. For me, You got to have both. You got to have both. You have to have the like, but you also have to have the love too as well. In order for it to last, I'm talking for a long time because, but contrary to popular belief, people have just loved each other and it has lasted for a long time, but they get a certain age once the kids are out of the house and they don't have a reason to fall back on to hold things together. They're like, okay, now it's time for me to get divorced. I always scratch my head when people have spent like 20 something years or 30 years and they be like, we're out of here. And I'm like, all that time invested. But at the end of the day, I can't really question that person because I don't know the dynamics of the situation. You got to have more to sustain the relationship than just all these years. You see what I'm saying? Because that's not going to hold the foundation of that home together between that man and that woman.
You see, Nesco said, it's weird that some people are actually afraid of conversation yet love to talk. Like is an emotion that time erodes. Love is an emotion that can outrun time if properly applied. Yeah.
Wow. See, that's good. That's good, Ness.
That's good. That's good, Ness. I only say 10. Corinza say she only say 10 dates because it shows a woman if the man is only interested in one thing. If he sticks it out, he's a keeper. If he bounces, the woman knows he was just there for sex. Well, that's not a great way to measure that. Waiting 10 dates because I wait. This dude's that'll wait 10 dates, knock you off, and then don't talk to you no more. So that's I don't think that's a great way to measure that. No, because whatever length of time, whether you got a 90-day rule or any of that, dudes will sit and patiently wait. It's guys waiting right now, years. They've been waiting years for their moment to strike. And as soon as they're able to get it, they're going to be gone. I mean, it's just what it is.
For me, man, spontaneity is very electric. It's not planned out. It's not thought out, man. Spontaneity evolves into a natural feeling, a natural flow. When it's planned, I don't. Who likes to plan sex? No, we can't have sex because it's light out.
Oh man, that's scheduled stuff. I be hearing about that.
We only got to have sex at night. No, it's too light outside. Not right now. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's wait till it's dark at 8 o'clock. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people have planned sex, and once you lose spontaneity, you pretty much have no electricity. You have nothing that's magnetic. You have nothing that's exciting. And spontaneity, what it is, it's unplanned. You're gonna plan when you hold a hand, plan when you hug them, You got a timeline for when you kiss them. You got a timeline for when you have sex with them. What that does, it takes the euphoria out of it. It takes the excitement out of it. It takes the natural ingredients between a man and a woman that's supposed to just flow. You know, a lot of couples don't have spontaneity in their relationships. They got calendars when they're going to, oh, it's our anniversary, we're going to have sex on that day. Christmas Eve, we're going to have sex on that day. Oh, it's his birthday tomorrow, I'm going to give him some. You know, he got a promotion on his job. I'm going to give him some oral pleasure. I mean, it's just, I mean, what the hell? But people don't understand that people actually have planned sex. How do I know this? I have been in those conversations with these couples. Like, I know them and they are really telling me this, and I'm sitting up there looking at them like, oh my God. In my mind, I'm like, how do y'all live? But some people live their life like that, B.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I always say if she trying to put an amount of dates on you, Carissa Wild, and she say morning sex is the best. She said, yeah, but I agree with Sean. Got to keep the excitement of it. Gets boring. Yeah, you do. Right. And they say the fight for a relationship must be mutually true. You're either fighting to stay together or fighting to free your heart from someone you have already mentally checked out on. Oh man,
right.
And that
that's deep right there.
And see when you do the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, especially for guys, once you continuously get into the same situations with women, you check out a lot faster. Like when you'll see it in the beginning and you like, okay, you try to work it out. Okay, maybe that ain't what this is. And you work your hardest at it. And then, okay, you like, okay, this ain't working. And then you check out. Then you get into a similar situation because, hey, you like what you like. And you see the behaviors early on. You're like, man, no, that's not what I saw. You see it again. You're like, okay, you mentally check out. And you do it faster and faster and faster. And I watched this. I watched this in one of my brothers, man. He was in a relationship. And Christmas Day, we was over to my dad's house, Christmas Day. And he wasn't there. He was there in body. But in mind and spirit, dude, he was somewhere else. His current girlfriend and mother of his child, we were there, and even afterwards, like probably about a year or two later, me and his mom, my stepmom, talked about it, and she was like, he had mentally checked out, like he wasn't here. I said, yeah, the lights were on, but wasn't nobody home. He was not here. Right. And men do that. Men do that all the time. TD Jakes talks about that. He said you could win the fight. They say, but you're gonna lose the war because once he checks out, he's gone.
He's gone. And here's the thing, man. My mother say, Sean, when I in my 20s and my early 30s, I had a problem with communication big time. My mom told me, she was like, Sean, you just be flying through these women like it's nothing. I'd have met this chick and you done dumped her. It's like it's almost like old boy said in The Best Man. I was a serial monogamous. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much just, you know, like what's the light skinned brother name, man? That Terrence Howard. He was like, man, yeah, you know, you be in these jive ass relationships, you know, like this is my queen and shit. And then all of a sudden she's dismissed with the quicks. That was me, you know. So I get tired of somebody. I get bored with it. My mom said, this is what I need you to see. This is some advice. She said, son, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. But I would talk to my mom when I'm like in between not dating anybody. I'm just solo dolo. And she was like, how about give them the answers to the tests just right in the beginning? Yeah. Tell them exactly everything right there in the beginning. How you are. Just tell them about you. Now they got the answers to the test. Now she said, now there's a difference between a smart woman and a dummy. Yeah. A dummy, you can give them the answers to the test. They don't remember a damn thing. And then they keep coming to you the wrong way. And I told you, I said, listen, I told you I'm not this dude. You keep coming at me like this. I told you quit bugging me. You keep coming at me like this. I've told you and told you and told you. For me, I mentally check out when I keep telling somebody the same damn thing over. I done gave you all the answers to the test, and you still getting F's. You ain't trying to get it. You trying to conform me and change me into something else. And I can't speak on all women, but some women try to change a man to put him in a box with what they want them to be. You can't do that. You're going to lose him.
Yeah.
And he is going to mentally check out. When a dude mentally checks out from a woman, all of a sudden she see him, and now she don't see him no more. Because why he's mentally check out? First of all, you don't listen. You listen to respond. You don't listen to comprehend, to understand that dude. That's what, when you understand that dude, you will stop doing the things that he don't like. That's why he don't want nothing to do with you. That's why you don't see him that much, because you're not listening to who he's telling you who he is. He's communicating with you, and you still failing the test.
Yeah.
You have to use your active listening skills to get the information and data that another person is telling you. They are telling you how they are because, hey, hell, they want you to win. They want to be with you, but you not listening, and you keep doing the opposite of what he has requested and what he has told you how he is. And then you get upset when he gets upset, and his anger is coming from, damn, this shit is redundant. I done told you like 100 times, you still don't get it. I'm patient with you, but damn, it's been 3 years and you still don't know me. You still doing the same things that I told you 3 years ago. I don't like that. Some people purposely do what you don't like. When they purposely do what you don't like, that means they're not listening to what you're saying.
Yeah.
They're in non-compliance, and there's a disconnect somewhere, not in your mind or brain, in theirs.
Yeah.
Because when it starts to get better, because that means you are understanding that guy or you're understanding that woman. Don't do things on purpose that they don't like, because that's when it's going to put a wedge between you guys, and the distance is going to go this way. And before you know it, because once a man is mentally checked out, and once a woman is mentally checked out, there's nothing you can do. Like R. Kelly said, once a woman's fed up, man, you can forget that. Bro, she
Speaking of
gone.
which,
She gone.
She gone. Speaking of which, and I was gonna bring that up with these guys who, especially, I know young man, it's a biological drive. I know women is what you desire, women are what you want. But if you are broke, you living with your mama, you don't have your own place, you don't have a means of transportation, you have no purpose, no path in your life, and women is what you desire, and that's what you're trying to get. You're hustling backwards, man. You are hustling backwards, and you're going to, and when you're dating from that, when you're in that current state you're in right now, underachieving state, and not saying you're a bad person, because a man, that's one thing about being a man. I think one of the things I love about being a man is that, dude, you could F up for 40 years, Sean. You know this.
Right.
You could F up for 40 years. Take one solid year, get your life together, and come out on the other side as a changed man. You can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you can do
exactly.
that, and then still get what you want. You can, and then still get whatever it is you want. You can still get that. But if your focus is women and you're not focused on yourself, dude, you're hustling backwards, because you're going to get the same thing you've always gotten, because you're presenting to women the same thing that you've always had. You have, if you want different results, you need to put in the work. It's that simple, man.
Right. Hey, man, Corinne's comment at the bottom has made me laugh. It says, "Women don't listen. Their idea of listening is talking."
Oh my God, dude. We talked about this too, Sean. Hey, when a woman asks you,
"Oh my God,
about your day," we talked about that. We already know when a woman asks you about your day, she's not asking you to shit so she know about your day. She's asking you about your day so you can ask her about her day.
About her day, exactly.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. It goes back to the old saying that she ain't nobody concerned about what about our day. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing, man. What did Lisa say, man? Lisa said you should be able to tell them once, and they should adhere to your leadership. This is correct, Lisa. That's a woman who is actually Her heart is listening, her mind is listening, and her ears are listening.
Yeah.
There's a difference, man. There's a difference. Lisa, you are 100% correct. Corinza, you definitely correct on yours too.
He wasn't
Nesco
this.
said something.
Yeah, he said, Sean, you're on point. I'll piggyback off that and say it is as bad as dudes who listen to a woman express what she's been through and turns around and does the same BS and wonder why she's cutting his Jordans and busting his windows out his car. So we have to change the narrative. Yeah, I watched that too, Ness. I watched that too.
Ness.
I watched that too. I watched that too. You want these amazing women. You want to be with this woman. You want to have this woman, and you want to have this lifestyle. But what are you providing for her? What are you showing her as far as a leader is concerned? Okay, yeah. You got like the flashy stuff, and not to get on them, but you'll know who I'm talking about when I describe this. But there's a certain section of women where if you put some J's on, you maybe got some dreads, so some gold teeth, and or you swagged out, and then boom, they on your heels just like that, not knowing anything about you. You know, right, and for those guys, dude, those dudes not ready for relationships. No, you do that because that's bait. That's bait. People fake lifestyles all the time. All the time, man. I thought that was like I didn't think people did that, man, until the internet got more popular, and some of these people who you thought lived the lifestyles they live were getting exposed. And famous people lying about things that they really don't do and really don't own, man. And I'm like, wow, people are out here putting on a persona for these ninjas out here, man.
Right, man, and it's so true, man. I tell people, I said, man, you can't believe that garbage that you see on the internet, man. You have no. My thing about it is the internet is a facade, man. It's a smoke screen for people to hide behind. You know, a lot of people say one thing about people that is nerve wracking. They say something, but they do something else. I'm like, dude, pretty much you have no consistency in who you are in your own individual life. Yeah. So, and to piggyback off of what you said, Brandon, about us men, because I've been one of those dudes who, saying this and saying that, have failed in relationships or marriage and not done my part because I'm thinking like a man and I'm not thinking about her needs. And fellas, we got to do that's better. Especially when we get married and we're engaged or we getting close to really just getting that thing sealed down. Brandon, you said it. We have to do the things that make ourselves leaders. Let's say if your wife cook, man, wash the dishes. Let's say if you know how to cook, man, listen, bro, why in the hell is that woman getting off? Let's say your wife is a doctor, you a lawyer, whatever. You home at 4 o'clock. She ain't getting home to 10 o'clock at night, and you sitting your lazy ass on the couch waiting for her to cook you dinner. If you know how to cook, get your behind in the kitchen, man. You cook and leave her some food in the microwave. See, the thing about it is that we have to start taking things off of women's plate. We want them to raise the kids. We want them to cook the food. We want them to keep the house clean. And we ain't doing a damn thing. We want them to wash our clothes, but we ain't doing nothing. What are we doing to alleviate the stress from that woman, to help her out in the house that we're living in? What are we doing? Okay. And we want her to sex us down, but you ain't even doing nothing. And half the time the sex is just as good as reading a dull ass book because you're so busy pleasing yourself and you ain't pleasing her. First of all, fellas, I had a whole segment about this, and me and Brandon, we're going to have a part 2. We're going to have some ladies on there too to chime in. Listen, man, here's the thing. You don't please that woman sexually one time first. You please her ass every time first. That should be your duty. Your duty sexually is to please your woman first every single time. Because if you're not pleasing her, what the hell has she got to look forward to? If you're not pleasing her, she's getting nothing out of sex. She don't have an orgasm, squirt, or nothing. You get in there, bam, 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 you done, and she just sitting there unfulfilled, and you wanted her, and she wants the desire to have sex with. Why should a woman desire to have sex with a man when she ain't getting a damn thing out of it? Yeah. She ain't even getting pleased. And I tell women all the time, y'all gonna stop chasing behind and begging these dudes who ain't got enough stamina or enough dick to put your ass to sleep, and you worrying about these jokers, man, that joker he's tired and he's selfish. So my thing about it is, man, how about us as men help take some things off a plate, man? How about, why don't you cook sometime, bruh? You know what I'm saying? If you know how to cook. So here's the thing, and you got to put yourself, fellas, we got to catapult ourselves into the position of leadership. But if we're not taking let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna share something with you about my mom, my grandmother, and my auntie Deborah. My grandmother, I was 4 years old. She put a stack of telephone. Remember how them telephone books used to be so thick, Brandon? That they would lose. I remember. She would stack books and telephone books and have me standing on the telephone book. 4 years old, taught me how to wash dishes at 4 years old. Taught me how to iron my clothes. My mom taught me how to wash clothes. Started teaching me how to cook. And I was like, why do I have to learn all these things? My mom said, let me tell you something. I want you to learn these things so when you get into these serious relationships, you know how to do everything. You can keep a house clean. You know how to cook. You can wash your own clothes. You can take care of the damn house. That's part of you being a leader. You know what I'm saying? You can take some stress off of things. What if your woman gets sick, she bedridden? Your ass don't know how to cook, wash clothes, clean the house. You don't know how to do nothing. You can't run the house. You can't take care of the kids. So you've been so dependent on her, you don't know how to do anything your damn self. There are grown ass men who moms still washing their dirty drawers, and they in their 20s and they ain't even wash clothes at all. How that dude off in college don't know how to wash clothes or cook? My thing about it is, leaders are self-sufficient.
Yes.
You feel me? Let me repeat that. Let me retort. Leader, a true man who's a leader, he is self-sufficient. He can take care of his kids. He can change them damn diapers. He can take care of the house. He can clean the house damn near better than she can. But my thing about it is, these things that should be taught starts with the parents at home as these boys are grown up to be men.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? My son knows how to cook and wash clothes. He's 15 years old. My thing about it, my mom used to say, Sean, I want you to need them for companionship, not for them to be your damn maid and your mother. And so we have to step up as men to do our part, because you got working women out here, man. We can't expect them to be Superwoman and Wonder Woman and all these things and Electra, but we ain't stepping up doing our damn part. You want them to do all these things, but yet and still, you're not stepping up doing a damn thing. It drives me crazy. You know how many women have told me, that joker been home all day, Sean. I got to get off work. He been home 5 hours before me, and he's sitting there waiting for me to cook. I'm dog ass tired.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody says. On contrary to popular belief, not every woman is being sexually satisfied out here. But we want everything.
We talked about that.
We talked about that, man. So it is. There's so many things that a leader has to bring to the table. And one of them that's a big thing is self-sufficiency. Go ahead, B.
Hey, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I mean, everything you just said about men for the weak stroke game, which, dude, as far as man, what you said, pleasing her first. As far as me, I already know I got me. I'm batting 1,000 when it comes to getting me where I need to be. So my job is to get her where she needs to be. Because me, I know it's easy. I mean, it's not going to take much at all. But for these guys out here, a weak stroke game. They're not providers. They don't have no domestic skills. The standard of living is low. They don't provide a great environment for their woman. These dudes are out here dating. Right. They're out here dating. They're out here. And then let's say that these guys are, let's say the value that they have exceeds their lack of all those skills we're talking about. Like, say he's tall and good looking. He just does. He's the physical metric of what women want. Okay, he's still gonna get chicks to deal with him, and he's out here, running through him, damaging women, running through him. And that part right there is a responsibility that we have to take as men. Now, all men can't do that, so I can't place that on all men's shoulders. And the average guy most likely cannot do that. But for those guys, man, it's just, I mean, what can you do, man? It is what it is, because it's going to take for them to bump their head and get caught in loops for them to get it. I mean, but I have seen dudes they're in their 50s and 60s still on the damn take because they just don't get it. So some men mature, some men don't. But as far as ladies are concerned, you need to get out the door. At a certain point, you got to get out the door. You got to know that you're wasting time. This is not the guy. This is not the man, and you need to move on. And say, let's look at some of these.
Let's look at Ness. Read Ness go comment.
He say, dudes are out here yelling, "I'm a king, looking for my queen," yet having the mentality of peasantry. Basically, what I was just saying.
I love it.
Court jester.
You nailed it. You nailed it, bro.
Court jester. He said, if you please her, you're not going to hear all that mouth. That's Lisa Reed said.
There you go, Lee. Now, what in Lisa's defense, this is true because women are. I tell dudes all the time, listen, bro. They talking about your game in the bedroom, bro. So your game better be on point. Your game better be on point because it's like nowadays that weighs real heavy for a lot of women, lot of females.
Well, and then too, Sean, we talked about why that is too. A lot of them deal with guys who could care less about their pleasure because of what this guy has, how he looks, or whatever.
Right.
The guys who can attract women are always going to attract the majority of the women. And so, what is his incentive for this woman who she's one of many for me to please her? So, I mean, that's the responsibility women have to take on that because they talk about it, Sean. They talk about how, well, did you tell the guy that he wasn't doing this? Did you kind of guide him? Did you show him? And the answer usually is no. She didn't say anything about it. She just continued to lay there. And I'm like, well, hold on. As soon as I don't like something, I'm like, hey, baby, don't do that no more. Flag on the play. Back up 15 yards. Yeah, you roughing
on the play.
hey, you roughing the passer, baby. I can't do that no more. I'm sorry.
Boy, you crazy. That's the last. But I love your football analogy, my man.
Yeah, man.
But it's true. And Brandon, we have talked about that when it comes to women actually being pleased, man. It's like but I said it in my in one of my podcasts, man, when it was a podcast based off sex. You got to, a lot of times in sex, when the sex is awful and it's god awful and it's been awful for months or years or whatever.
Yeah.
That person's thinking that they is God's gift to women in the bedroom, and he's a negative one at best. He's horrible. He's horrendous. That needs to be told. I mean, you got to have those uncomfortable conversations, like, bro, you know, you got to do this or you got to step it up, and vice versa with, you know, men toward women. You got to have those conversations with those people who are 5-minute guys who can't, you know, and they're not taking care of their woman. They're just selfish lovers. They're just taking care of themselves, and you know, that's just be it. So you got to have that type of communication, man, in order for things actually to get better, man. But
it's too much information out here. It's too much information out here. Dude, I remember being 17, and because I knew around that time, I'm like, yes, it's about that time. I'm about to, you know, start getting physical with women at a certain point. I said, I want to know what I'm doing. So I started reading. Dude, I went to like Barnes & Noble, Books A Millions, looking at certain books because they had all types of books in there back then. And I did some reading, did some research, looked at stuff. So I kind of had an idea of what I was doing. I didn't go by adult videos like most dudes do, which that man, if you know the secrets behind that, what it's like behind the scenes, just listen to any former adult worker and ask them, and see what they say about behind the scenes and the unrealistic expectations that video have given men and women. You know, that's not real life. That's not real life. They're putting on a show for that. But there's more than one way to skin a cat, man. Like whether even if a guy, whether you lack in one area, you can make up for it in another area, man. It's that simple, man. Dog. It's not that hard.
It is not that hard, man. And it's like I gave guys in my and you know, people was taking that sexual podcast the wrong way. I'm like, dude, this is about education. It's about educating men on how to please their women that don't know how to please their women, who pretty much don't know their way around a vagina. Dude, I'm just trying to put you up on game because you may not be as good as you are. Because, dude, first of all, if you can't please them in one area, you should be able to please them in the other area. And dude, you are that stud when you can please them in both areas. But I'm trying to at least educate you in one area. If you listen to the directions of the podcast, then you can nail it each and every time. Not just get lucky one time, but you can nail it every single time. Just like you said, B, if you're not good in one area, hell, you could definitely be good at other. It's all about learning, but you have to be open to learning. You got to let the ego of it. Man, we got egos. You got to let that crap go sometimes, man, because ego will, at the end of the day, have you looking stupid. It does. What does Corinza say?
She said, an independent male that can handle his business outside of the home and be a homemaker. That's the difference between a man and a boy, period. Yeah. Let's see. Let's say when I was in my 20s, I was involved with a woman in her late 40s. She told me, boo, you got it going on from the waist down. I need to know if it's an empty room upstairs. Changed my life with understanding that sex start with a conversation. If you can articulate what you want with her, by the time you get there, she's already ready. Yeah, I think you told me the story about that particular person. That's yeah. He says adult videos are horrible for sexuality. Listen, bro, you can't bend every woman that way. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Man, that's hilarious, man.
No, you
that's
can't.
Hilarious, dude.
Especially older women. Like, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Gladys, I hurt your hip. My bad.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Brandon, what's your final thought?
Final thought, and you could take this and apply this to it just about any facet of life, doing the same thing and expecting different results. Take, for instance, we focused on relationships, but take the professional world. I mean, if you continue to work mid-level jobs, making 40 to 50K a year, not acquiring more skill and just staying in that loop, I mean, you're going to keep getting the same results you're getting. No matter what it is, no matter what the industry is, what section of your life it is, change. Don't be afraid to change. You want different results, you need to change what you are doing. And it's simple. All it does is start with you up here. You start up here first, then you'll be able to change everything else. Changing your mindset. That's the most important thing. Knowing that, hey, this is not what I want to go through. I don't want to go through these continuous endless loops over and over again, getting the same results. Changing my mindset, changing my outcome, and changing my life. And you can do it in a relatively short amount of time.
Right. I like that, B. I like that, man. I want to leave my final thought process is this. Okay. You got to go from being closed-minded to open-minded if you want change to be evolved in your life. But it starts with your mental way of thinking. You can't be thinking the same old way because you're going to keep getting the same thing. Ladies, you can't quit going for the same type of dude, and fellas, quit going for the same type of woman, man. Be open for something that's different, broaden your horizons. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to the point of elevation of one's mindset, but as long as you keep doing the same things, expecting a different outcome, you're going to keep getting the same things over and over again. It's almost like it's a vicious cycle that's on repeat, but you're the person that has to stop that cycle. It's up to us, the individual, to be more open-minded, to elevate our mind for different things. Change your mind, changes your life. That's it.
That's it, man. Dog, Lisa Reed Wilder. She say, B, you haven't had the right older woman. We flexible. Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Jesus. Corinza say, y'all know, right? Lord of mercy. So y'all have a blessed day and a great week ahead. Much love and light. Appreciate that, Corinza. So that's right. You say myth busting moment. Talk is not cheap, it's priceless, and cheap people can't afford it. Done.
Ooh, that boy ended that thing with a banger.
Put a pin in it.
I'm telling, put a pin in it. Hey, man, y'all check out my boy Brandon Lampley. Brandon, why don't you plug in your social media outlets to the people?
All social media, put in Brandon Lampley. I'm trying to build up that YouTube, so please go subscribe to my YouTube. I think I'm at like 61 subscribers now, so I'm trying to I want to get to that 1,000. So over the next year,
right.
2022, the goal is to get monetized. So go over there and help your boy. Give a subscribe. It's free, people. It's free, and I appreciate it. I'm coming with content. I'm changing up my whole setup, and more content coming at the end of this year and next year, man. So I appreciate y'all for watching me.
Appreciate you guys, and guys, subscribe to my YouTube as well. Gwen's Boy Mindset, named after my mother. Subscribe to it, man. We're just trying to do our thing. We're trying to just get more exposure. We're just trying to do our thing. We're just trying to, come up on a come up. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. What did that say? Let's say, okay. All right, man.
Oh, love you too,
back,
brother. We need to meet up. And yeah, love you too, man. Oh yeah, we got to meet up, Ness. I've been supposed to go over his house for a minute now, man. But dude, we come up and I have stuff to do. But yes, Ness, we got to do that. We got to shoot some pool, go boating, something, man. We got to hang out for sure.
Next podcast, I think we're gonna be on Brandon's show. We got to get with what day you want to do that, Brandon. I don't know if you want to do it Wednesday, Thursday, but we definitely got to get that going. We'll coordinate. We'll do a one. Yeah, we'll coordinate. We'll do a one-off. Everybody, y'all stay easy, man. Keep it positive. And like I said at the end of all my segment, I'll start judging people once I'm perfect too. But since I'm in no danger of ever being perfect, you'll never have to worry about this brother ever judging you. Y'all stay up. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate the comments and likes. Keep that going, man. Listen, it's all love. It's all love, people.
All love, man.
Love is love. All right. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.